Good afternoon to all of you. The toughest task of a faculty is to address in the post-lunch session, that too immediately after lunch. I hope you enjoyed the lunch. Is it okay? Okay. How many of you are from industry? Can you kindly raise the hands? Industry? Okay, good number. Thank you so much. See, by and large, the issue that arises is how we can make our delivery of management education practical oriented. Now, using research as a tool, eventually each person who joins an institution aspires for a career path. I think it is nothing but natural, where everybody would like to grow in the career. Whether it is good or bad, the University Grants Commission has made it compulsory that one must secure PhD to be promoted from assistant professor to associate professor, and also should publish articles to become professor. And there is an academic performance which is taken into account. Now, how can we link up that the research work that is being done in the university or institute and put it in the part of the teaching delivery to the students of management? The topic that has been given to me is need-based research. Now, why should we take need-based research? The question is, as a faculty member, when I join an institution, someone asks oneself, why should I make my research need-based? Is it necessary that I should link up my research to the current needs of society? When we say it is the needs of the society, the first question that is being normally asked is that. Now, why should we do that? I take the help of PPT because the reason is research means research. So you need to do search of the literature and search of what has been done, and we try to identify the gaps. So it is a natural process of research. Okay. Now, the contemporary, when you are in the contemporary business situation, contemporary economic situation, contemporary political and social, so you would be able to identify the issues which are the part of the contemporary situation. Rather than getting into the past history, or you imagine the future and do about the future. Rather than digging into the history or going into the future, you are dealing with issues which are contemporary. So naturally what happens is identifying an issue which is contemporary in nature is easier because you are experiencing it. You are experiencing it as a customer. You are experiencing is as a person towards the other end of the game. So as a user or as a customer, you have an experience, right? So that is why it is contemporary. Then, since you are witnessing the situation, you are a part of the scene, you are part of the movie, you are the part of the drama, what is being enacted at your place. So naturally what happens is you have a greater clarity of the issue, right? So whether it is in the part of HR, finance, marketing, IT, any field. So in the field of your specialization, you are a part of the contemporary scenario. So naturally what happens is you will have a clarity of the issue. So it is better that we take up the need-based. Well, what are the outcomes? The research that we do, the outcome must be useful to society. When you take up an issue which is relevant, contemporary, naturally what happens is the outcome of the research will have some relevance, so that outcome will be used. So it will not be that for the sake of publication, for the sake of degree, we have submitted a thesis, we got MPhil degree, or we got a PhD degree, or we published some article in some journal, because nowadays you find plethora of journals, right? Like we have plethora of colleges. We have so many colleges which have come into existence. Similarly, there are so many journals. Why journals have come into existence? Now they also know. People have to write articles, they have to publish them. If they publish them, then only they get increments, or they will be eligible for promotion. So academic performance index is necessary. So there are many journals which have come up, right? So it is not just for the sake of getting a degree or publishing articles, but making your result, outcome of the research relevant, which could be useful, right? These are the next one is, most importantly, as a faculty member, I believe that research that we do, if it is contemporary in nature, naturally we can use the research in part of our teaching. That means your teaching will not be purely from the textbook. That is what our previous speaker said, that the notes which were used by my faculty member 30 years back, I repeat the same notes. Or I read from a textbook and explain from the textbook, but I can intervene no doubt the theoretical part with my research inputs. So as a result, what will happen is my teaching will be more and more practical and more contemporary, and you will have a greater authority of what you teach. I think these are the 5 reasons why we academicians must make reorient research towards the needs of the society. Now, okay, now when we say that, it is easy to say rather than done. It is very easy to preach, it is very easy to say that you must be very honest, right? You must be very practical. You must impart the skills, right? You must impart some communication skills. You must make people analytical. But how to impart it is very important. How can we impart these things? First thing is identifying issues. How can we identify the issues where from we feel this is an issue which is contemporary in nature, and on this issue we can pursue research. Now, number one is print and electronic media. I am going to give some of the examples which are drawn from the print and electronic media. So print and electronic media gives on giving lot of news. For example, few days back the news said that the US sanctions against Russia. Then Europe was in dilemma whether to go ahead with America or to be independent and not to go so severe against Russia in imposing sanctions, right? So then the issue has come up, Sahara for example. Sahara, first they said that this fellow was not given the bail. Later on Supreme Court has given bail. Later on Supreme Court said that you have to deposit 10,000 crores, otherwise bail cannot be given. So this kind of the news which comes out of either print media or electronic media could be a good basis of research. Next one is reports of industry associations. Quite often what happens is we are faculty involved in teaching management. We do not see the industry associations, the websites of industry associations. Industry associations, many of them, whether it is the pharmaceutical industry, automobile industry, they have got extremely comprehensive websites. They do undertake a lot of research. They do undertake research which is contemporary with reference to industry problems, and they carry out and submit the reports. So industry associations can also give us good inputs to carry out the research. Okay, then annual reports of companies. Quite often, the company's annual reports give us an idea, so what kind of research we can do. I think this I will not remunerate. Let me, reports of various government agencies, economic surveys, because time is short, I will not be able to explain all of them. RBI reports, new legislations. Say for example, new legislation has come. Companies Act 2013 has been enacted. Now there are many areas where they have direct relevance to HR issues, to finance, to marketing, right? We can be able to take up one of the amendments, one of the legislative part of Companies Act 2013 and pursue research. Right? Parliamentary committee reports. I think very few, whenever in our interactions, what we found was the faculty members and the students of MBA colleges in particular may not be even aware of there is a parliamentary committee, and parliamentary committee reports are very comprehensive in nature. They do go into details, whatever may be our impression about the politicians and members of the parliament, but parliamentary committee reports, they do go in depth, and the reports gives us very good insights into the various issues, right? Then reports of various commissions appointed by central government, so More committee or Malagam committee, these various committee reports. Then non-government organizations, there are many non-government organizations which undertake research, which undertake surveys, and they publish them, whether in the area of unfair trade practices or marketing practices, advertisements, right? For example, we have CARE at Ahmedabad itself. CARE has undertaken many issues, many against NESIL also, against HUL also, right? So NGOs reports will be very relevant for us as a basis of research. World Bank reports. Now World Bank says that Human Development Index, though India is registering a very high economic growth rate, but has not been able to improve upon Human Development Index. among the different states of India, some of the states are investing a lot on human development, but some of the states are not doing. So like that, the World Bank reports can give us a good basis for our research, right? Then companies launches and schemes. Now I am giving a few examples. For example, I say the possibility of Modi-led NDA government coming to power after the LS force is fueling the rally. This is the report which has been published in the Business Standard, Economic Times, almost all. Now as a researcher, management researcher, either in finance, I can be able to say, okay, if the Modi government coming to power is fueling the Sensex movement, now how long it will go? And what will be the repercussions of the investments, whether I am teaching security analysis and portfolio management, or I am teaching investment management, so or I am teaching subjects related to the investments, right? Similarly, US sanctions I have said. Now if you study the annual reports of Kingfisher Airlines, last 4-5 years, before 2013, 2010, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, you come to know that there is something bubble which is building up. Now that could be a good basis that how the annual reports, a critical study of annual reports can give us insights into possible failure, business failure. So you will be able to develop a theory through which we can say, okay, and critical study of annual reports give us a good indication about possible business failures. That could be a good research study, right? Then say Tata Motors, for example, 2011, 12, I think there is a typographical error, 11, 12, 12, 13, and quarterly results of quarter 1, 2 and 3 of 2013-14, if you read it, the takeover of Jaguar Land Rover has contributed significantly to the financial performance of Tata Motors. But if you read the historical news, when Tata Motors decided to take over Jaguar Land Rover, there was immediate fall in the market price of Tata Motors, because it was felt that the price that was being paid was much higher than its justifiable price. So the market discounted it, and as a result the price crashed, right? Some of the minority shareholders represented that this move is not the proper move. It was the case with against Tata Steel also, right? If you study these 3 annual reports, you will be able to know that in these 3 years, the contribution from the Jaguar is more than the local Tata Motors company in India, right? Similarly, the 67th report of the Standing Committee of the Ministry of Finance focused on rising non-performing assets of the banks. Right, so that could be a good basis for research, saying that how the non-performing assets of the public sector banks, how they have been rising over a period of time, what are the reasons for that, how you compare with the public sector banks with the private sector banks, what is the ecosystem over there. So this could be the good basis on which we can be able to pursue research. I just take one example, Supreme Court judgment dismissing Swiss drug maker Novartis, where it said that the Cipla product in cancer drug is valid, and the petition that was put by the Swiss drug maker Novartis was struck down. So that created a great ambit of scope for Indian pharmaceutical companies. Said that that patent is not valid, so you cannot protect that, right? So as a result, Cipla is able to sell cancer products. Not only Cipla, many Indian pharma companies, right? That could be a good basis for research. For example, coming to the marketing area, McKinsey report online and upcoming internet's impact on India. McKinsey and McKinsey, they undertake research in a major way, and they publish reports in a very comprehensive reports. Say for example, online and upcoming internet's impact on India. It says that the impact of internet on India is very significant with facts and figures. So that could be used by us in marketing research. It could be used by us in consumer behavior, right? In these areas we can use it. Similarly, HUL Magnum ice cream, one of the most world's luxurious ice cream, has been introduced. What is the impact of that? How many people are going towards that ice cream available in metro cities? What is the impact of introduction of that ice cream by HUL against the other brands? So that kind of research definitely will be able to make our teaching system and also learning more up to date and more contemporary. Incredible brands like Move, Crack of Paras Parasmeticals take over by the RB. So these are some of the issues that we can definitely study them. So if we continuously browse the various sources, we get number of ideas for taking research, which is relevant to the contemporary situation, and where our method of teaching will be more practical. And naturally what happens, the students will be able to show interest. This is what is happening. So naturally they will be interested to develop the interest, knowledge, as well as develop the skills. For example, to have a sample, I have studied the Harvard and a couple of other institutions which are in the top 100 of the FT rankings. Now, what kind of topics they undertake research? For example, it says how electronic patient records can slow doctor productivity. Now, this has been done by Harvard Business School. Now, we always believe that digitization is good, but they found that doctors spend more time in typing out the data of the patients, and they would be spending more time analyzing that report rather than attending to the patient, examining the patient. So the study found that this is not effective, and it is generally reduces the efficacy of the medical care, right? Then there is a very good, surprising link between language and corporate responsibility. Now we say that the language in which you publish your annual report, the language in which you publish various media reports has a linkage with the corporate social responsibility. What this mean is this: your population in the country cannot read even the vernacular language, and you publish your annual report in English. It says that in what way you are fulfilling the corporate social responsibility. It is better you publish that in a language which majority of the population can read, so that you will be able to fulfill this CSR. Now that is a research work done by a professor at Harvard Business School. Then mind games, right? Mental representation of conflict. This is another area where research has been done, right? So these are the effect of temporal spacing between advertising exposures, evidence from online field experiments. You give a space between two advertisements, right? If your space is more, where the audience will show more interest or less interest, right? So finance, do asset price bubbles have negative role? Now looking at the Indian institutions, IIM Ahmedabad has been ranked 16th in 2012 and 26th in 2013 by the FT rankings. So IIM Ahmedabad is one of the topmost ranking institutions globally also. Now what are the studies? Some of them is individual factors and organization initiatives enabling the success of PWD managers, right? So go to the micro level. For example, University College located nearby irrigation project or nearby an GADC. So it is better you study the implications of HR managers, HR issues or marketing or finance the local level, not necessary to be at the national level or global level. Buying impulsive trait, an effective moderator for shopping emotional perceived risk, right? These are the studies which have been done at IIMs. I'm just giving you sample idea that these are the various areas where we can pursue research and make our research more and more contemporary. Now what are the source of data? Say for example, many a times primary data you are engaged in your full-time, as a full-time faculty, you may not be able to undertake primary survey every time and again except for your PhD degree. Then there are various sources of data which you can use and pursue research and use that data in our teaching methodology also. Like data.gov.in, if you go, there are 7,000 resources available. The data sets are not restricted only to companies. The data sets are across healthcare, across water management, across pollution, environment, various sources. So you can use that data in your research, pursue the research and use them. The SEBI website, RBI, NSE India, BSE India, NCER. Now these are the issues where if we pursue research contemporary issues, we would be able to make our research useful and also use them in teaching various subjects as a part of our MBA program or PGDM program. Right? This is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much.